Well, you know.
And I'm naked and crying.
You have clothes on. They left you with clothes.
That doesn't give me AC. I'm naked, essentially.
That's true. It does not improve your AC. Alright. Let me look at my notes here. So, last time, the group was sneaking around and they decided. I think they were moving towards the fort to attack, but they ambushed some of the hunter orcs in the process, killed them, but one of the orcs blew the horn, which summoned some reinforcements. The group stayed to kind of try to lure the reinforcements in to ambush them, but instead the reinforcements had a smart or somewhat smart leader and just kind of pelted them with arrows, the group with arrows, waiting for their own reinforcements. So the group started falling back, but then the reinforcements came and they were being chased. Scurry did some hit and run tactics, separating from the group. Then Zequine separated, but the major grouping decided to keep following the party, and unfortunately ran them down and captured them. So they were brought back to the base and put in cages, and it sounds like they're scheduled for execution at some point. But we're going to go back to that night before. Or wait, did we pass the day? We did pass the day. All right. So
Yep.
it's the morning after. But something may have happened during the evening, actually. So we might have to go back to that. So Zerx is the leader. Scurry is the quartermaster. And I don't think, Scurry, you weren't planning, you and Zerx weren't planning to do anything that evening, were you?
Me and Zach, no.
Or sorry, you and Zach, yeah. You were gonna rest till the next day.
Yep.
And see what you could do from there. Alright, and the rest of you who were trapped, you said you weren't sure what you wanted to do, so you were passing the night.
And we got starved. Sad day.
Yeah, you did not get any food, and you would get point of exhaustion, but you would get your HP and hit dice back, so that's something. Or wait, actually, I think there was some con saves you were rolling to see if you got exhaustion.
Yeah, we did all those before we ended the session. Everybody, I
Yeah.
think only one person succeeded.
Okay,
I was the only one succeeding, yeah.
gotcha, alright.
Alright, I'm gonna DM you the letter that's gonna come in handy later.
Now, how are you getting this letter to Orcard?
Is it morning yet?
So, alright, during the evening, the one thing, are you all taking watches at all, or are you just going to sleep in the cages? Or in the cage?
I'll take the normal watches.
Okay.
I'll take the first watch.
So, who is on night watch?
The one that has dark vision. Wait.
So, is your only night watch person not with the group, or your two night watch people?
Yeah.
Alright, so does anyone want to stay up for night watch to take their
Okay.
place?
Yeah, I'm
Tal?
gonna stay up. Yeah.
Alright, Tal, what is your passive perception? You might notice something.
15.
So, in the darkness, you may have noticed what seems like a bird, which at first wouldn't really concern you, but it seems like the same bird has been kind of moving around on the gate watching the group for some time. Like it's come back several times. I don't know if you want to do anything about that, but you would notice it.
Okay, I mean, if it looks at me, I'm just gonna look back and try to, make sure it knows I'm not looking there by coincidence. But that's all I can do, I think.
You stare at the bird.
The bird already knows that you want to kill nature, and it's like, I'm gonna fuck your couch. You already fucked my birds.
Does Tal want to kill nature?
He wants to tame nature.
I mean, I guess he did say let's kill the bear, right? Or
It's
No, he wanted to kill the cubs, the monster he is.
the cubs, yeah. It sees into your soul. But that, alright, so you kind of stare back at it. Give me a... No, I guess you don't have animal handling or anything like that.
no. I mean,
That would be ironic. though.
Yeah. Let me check something really quick.
I have it ironically to slaughter them easier.
He knows how to lull them into a false sense of security.
It works for humans.
So after a moment, you watch the bird. It would fly away, and then probably about a half hour later, it would come back and kind of land nearby. I'll say it lands on your shoulder, and it actually whispers something to you, which I will message you. Alright, so that's what it would say to you, and then it would fly off. Do you have any type of knowledge of nature, or any knowledge? I guess you don't. I don't know why I keep
That
asking.
guy
No.
left.
I have history. I don't know if that helps.
The history of birds,
Or
whispering.
religion.
No, unfortunately, you probably wouldn't know much about this then. Alright, but that's what it says to you before it flies away. And
Okay.
I will skip time to the morning. So, Scurry, did you say you were doing some kind of message or sending something?
Yes, so in the morning, I would like to go talk. I would like write my message on the piece of paper, and I will go to my prisoner.
Alright. So he is, just kind of sitting there, tied up.
Alright. You awake?
Yes.
Is Zach awake?
Yeah, sure, I'll say you're both awake.
It seems you're getting your freedom a little sooner than expected here. I'd like you to deliver a message to Orchard.
Alright, he just looks at you and says, very well. You will release me then?
I will. That said, we will obviously be abandoning this cave, because as much as I like you, you can't exactly be completely trusted, as is natural. We'll set you free with this message, deliver it to Orchard, and I request that you answer any questions he has truthfully, and explain how, you've been treated here and such, which I think has been very well. And we'll see each other again someday, I'm sure.
Give me a persuasion.
I'm just asking to say how it is, but okay.
I'll give you advantage on this. Alright. So he just nods. He says, alright, I will be honest with him about how, as you said, you treated me. Thank you. And he would take the message. He probably still maybe feels, a little bit of resentment because you killed all his buddies, but you think he... do you have insight? Let's see how much you might know. Or what's your passive insight?
I'm not... Passive insight is 10.
So you can make an active if you want. You might, maybe you'll look him in the eyes, try to look into. Never mind.
Natural one.
Like, you seem to believe him entirely.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, he seems like he might harbor a little resentment for you killing his friends, but he's you think he'll be honest. So he takes your note, and you said you typed it up and sent it to me?
I'm sending it right now.
Okay. So in the morning, the four of you are sitting in the cage, probably feeling hungry, but better from your rest. Let me look at that note.
So I had an idea that might help to possibly get our pals.
I'm going to read over the note for a moment, but you all can talk about that.
That's to you, Scurry, by the way.
What was that? Sorry, Zach.
I had an idea to possibly help free our pals.
What would that be?
Well, since I haven't exactly been seen, I do have benefit there. I was thinking I could possibly, if they're going to be transporting them, I could serve a little bit as a distraction, perhaps, and maybe you can try to get them out. Worst case scenario, everybody dies. Best case scenario, I'll probably be with the hobgoblins for a little while. Maybe.
You see, I've actually had a different plan, which I've just set in action. I'd like to at least see and wait and see what that comes of that.
Yes, well, while you're waiting, our allies could be being killed. We need to take action.
With the message I just sent out, at the very least, they should not be getting killed. That said, we need to pack up everyone and get out of this cave and find a new residence for the time being, because obviously the orc we let go. What?
What was this message you sent out?
I sent him a little message with, just sort of outlining terms of peace, if it comes down to it. Possible alliance against Blackwater.
And if he doesn't take it?
Then we'll kill every last one of his men.
With what?
Me.
You and some tired not even soldiers. They're just farmers.
They're not tired anymore. They've had plenty of sleep. There's also you. There's Shark coming with reinforcements. Do you realize how many of their men we've taken out so far already?
The soldiers say, we can fight.
Yes, and when we march into...
We're not marching into anywhere. Well, why are you thinking that we're just going in there and being like, waving our swung around? We're going to be fighting them in the shadows. We're going to be taking them out one by one, patrol by patrol, hunting party by hunting party.
Yes, but that doesn't fix the problem of them possibly killing our allies.
Look, if they're not dead by tonight, they're safe regardless. They'll either be used for manual labor, or they'll be let go with the terms in my letter.
If they are killed tonight, their deaths are on you.
That's fair.
One of the men says, I don't know, do you really think we can fight all of these soldiers with just a few of us? I mean,
we were a group of 5, and we've taken out, let me just confirm here, right about 30 of them.
Yes, but
How much training
as long as we're careful and we take our time, we'll be able to take them out slowly but surely. Until, not all of them necessarily, but up to a point where Orchid has no chance or no choice but to, be willing to talk.
Give me a persuasion check. Although some of the soldiers seem into the idea, others are a little concerned.
Persuasion?
Yeah. Oh, okay. So you convince some others. One of them says, "But we ourselves are not very skilled at hit and run combat. How would we factor into your plan to fight these mercenaries? Or would we just hide here while you all did what you had to do?" Or I guess not here, he says, because we have to move, right?
We do have to move, yeah. We got to get going on that. It's mainly a factor of you guys obviously will not be very useful when we're going into enemy territory, maybe assaulting a fort or two. But when it comes down to setting up an ambush on the side of a road, digging ourselves in, even setting something as traps, I'm assuming that, you guys are farmers, you're handy with your hands, you should be able to make a pitfall trap or two. Something like that. We're able to, slowly but surely whittle them down.
He nods.
Of course, anyone that isn't comfortable with being in the position or the task that they've been assigned, they're more than welcome to, back out of that particular task or back out completely. All of you are free to leave whenever you like.
So a couple of them look at each other. One of them says, "I actually would have no idea how to get back to town from where we are. But does anyone know?" And one of the soldiers says, "Well, I could probably lead us back, but I'm going to stay here and help. We still have people in there who are slaves. I'm not just going to leave them to these brutes."
We do have reinforcements coming as well. Perhaps one of them will be available to take those of you who wish to leave back.
When it comes down to it, we had an opportunity, and you blew it, because now there's one of them that knows what I look like. I could have gotten in and seen what I could have done.
I don't think it matters what you look like. I think anyone that's not a hobgoblin, orc, or ogre is just going to stand out like a sore thumb regardless.
One of the soldiers asks, "What was your idea, miss? How did you think, or how did you intend to free them?"
Well, I was hoping I could serve as a distraction and, while they're being moved, and Scurry could have gotten them out.
Like an attack on the prisoner convoy?
It wouldn't have been an attack. Would have been quiet.
I
I
refuse to have a suicide mission happen just because we're worried of what might happen.
Says,
wouldn't be a suicide mission.
Well,
you said that in a worst case scenario we all die, in the best case scenario you get captured. That sounds like a suicide mission to me.
I never said captured.
Well, so would you set up some sort of, you said, distraction while they were moving the prisoners to the cave? Is that what you were thinking?
Yes. See, I was gonna taunt, tease, and challenge the big guy to a fight. If I win, I get to go with them, talk to Orchard, maybe see if they need some more mercenary help.
Says, well, if what Scurry says is true, perhaps his letter would accomplish that anyway. So we might be in the clear. Although, it does leave some to chance that this Orchard could kill our people if he doesn't like the terms. Either way, either plan would involve some risk, but yeah, I don't know. Alright, so if there's nothing else we're going to say in the cave... where are you going to move the party to? Do you have an idea of that?
Yes, I would like to move them further away from, the Hobgoblin encampment, and somewhere where it'd be easily visible, or at least easier visible, where Shock and such are coming from, because they are still headed to the cave.
Okay, so... Well, Shock doesn't actually know where this cave is, I don't think, right?
The owl does, though.
I don't know if the owl could have given him exact coordinates.
But the owl is
I
flying
guess the
with
owl could lead him there. Because, yeah, the owl did kind of know.
And it had the map on it.
Yeah. Alright, no, that's fair. Alright, so Do you mean like somewhere on the map in the hills, or were you thinking somewhere off the map in the forest? Like in the
Off the
mountains
map
over
a little
here?
bit towards the east.
So trying to hide out in the open plains somewhere?
That's only plains that way.
Uh, so there are other features. A survival check might actually help with that if you want to scour the area for some place that you could hide.
Sure, I'll give it a shot.
All right. So you're kind of surveying the landscape. I don't know, maybe take an hour in the morning or something to go take a look. Do you want to help him with that, Zaquine? You there?
I don't. Yeah, I'm here.
Did you want to give him a hand, or did you just want to stay back for now?
Honestly, I don't know what she'd do. As a D&D player, it's like help the party, but as my character, she's very unhappy.
Alright, so maybe she stays behind for now, trying to think of other ways she could help spring the group or something. That's fine. So yeah, Scurry might take an hour in the morning and look around in the plains, and you'd probably find a decent place with some high grass that you could use to hide out. It's not the most comfortable, but it will be good for hiding your location. So with that, you're abandoning the cave and moving your people over there?
Yep.
Alright. So we'll say...
Instructing all the farmers and soldiers to try and keep an eye out for the reinforcement that should be coming. Correct me if I'm wrong, today or tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
It would be tomorrow,
Tomorrow.
yeah. Alright, so we'll say 9 o'clock a.m. As long as Zaquine, you're going with him, I assume, when he tells you about the new location. Or do you want to wait here for the time being?
Well, she's not just gonna sit here and wait for however many hobgoblins show up to check the cave. And
Alright, so yeah, with the prisoner released, it is possibly dangerous to be here, so she'll go with him for now. Let me jump back to the camp for a moment. So in the morning... the four of you are in the cage still. Oh, let me turn the lights on because it's morning. Bloop. The four of you are in the cage waiting. Tal has told you about the mysterious bird that showed up. And I think how I could do this. You would... What's your perceptions? Passive, I mean. Zerx, Nala, or I guess Nala's not here, but Zerx and Tal. And Tal, you said you were 16, 14. Right? And Zerx is 14.
Yeah, and he said he'd share us when it's quiet. He'd share what I'll whisper to him.
Okay. Oh, is he still away?
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. So in the morning, as you're kind of sitting there, keeping an eye out, a raven. Or a crow, actually, would fly in kind of up on the gate and stealthily kind of make its way to the back of the cage, kind of landing down there. It didn't seem like the tower noticed it, or if they did, they didn't think much of it. But the raven would, or the crow would sort of walk towards the group and say, "You there?" Kind of quietly. He kind of pecks at Zerk's hand.
Yes.
Zerk casually says hello. He says, "Your party, you are enemies of Orchard, yes?"
I thought this was the VIP treatment. Yes, we're enemies at this moment.
He says, "I have seen your group attack several of his installments. What or who has sent you here?"
None. We have done this as a duty to Chaur to try and alleviate the stress from their people.
Give me a persuasion check. He says, the hobgoblins have caused great stress upon the nature, or upon the natural environment here. They are enemies of the animals and the land itself. You seem to be a friend, in that you hate them, as we do. Perhaps I can help you.
If you believe you can free us from this predicament, we would be in your debt.
He says, I noticed there were more of you. Some escaped. Where would your friends be?
Are you aware of the cave to the south of here? But I want to insight check them first.
He says, there are many caves to the south of here. Yeah, give me an insight.
Ah, a friend of nature, huh? So, you know that cave that mother bear was staying in with her 2 cubs?
Quiet peanut gallery. I was going to say that.
Yeah, luckily maybe the crow wasn't watching when you murdered the bear. It's hard to say. You've never had to insight a crow before, and they don't have the expressive nature of a human. But you don't get the feeling like he would work for Orcard. This doesn't seem like an Irontide trick. Obviously, there's no way to know for sure, but yeah, this might be someone else.
They are safe. They are hiding in one of the caves, as far as I know, towards the south of us.
If you can give me more information on the cave, perhaps I can find them and bring them a message, and maybe even help devise a plan to free you.
The previous resident was a bear and 2 cubs.
Give me a persuasion check.
Not doing too hot with that disadvantage. That hurts.
Alright. So he says, I shall see if I can find them. And the crow would fly up onto the fence, then fly away. Which a couple of hobgoblins actually do notice the crow leave from the cage, unfortunately. One of the... I'll say, one of the soldiers walks over, and he says, what was that? Did one of you send that crow?
No.
He takes out his knife, and he says, I've seen you use magic.
Yes, I don't use nature magic.
Give me a persuasion check.
Yeah, that's there you go. Yeah, that worked.
12.
No, 14. You got 12. You're right. I need to set that to disadvantage, though.
So he would narrow his eyes a bit at you, and he says, we'll be on the lookout for your crow friends should they return. He says, don't try anything, or we will kill you. He backs off. Alright, so I think at this point, I might pass a little bit of time, unless Scurry or the group or any of you want to do something in particular.
Well, Zach's ready to head out to, where the party is.
Alright.
Sitting right here on our asses isn't gonna help them.
She seems like she is uncomfortable with just waiting and leaving their fate to the hobgoblins. Alright. So, Scurry, you bring your group of people out into the plains, and sort of, in terms of feet, or meters, I guess in terms of feet, how far would you be from the cave? Like, half a mile, 100 feet.
Gotta love American measurements.
Yeah.
Far enough away that if people come back to the cave and have like a reasonably wide like search area, that we would still be outside of it.
So, in terms of distance, how far would that be? Do you think? Because I don't think your character has as much knowledge. Well, yeah, I guess. Yeah, what do you think in terms of distance? Like, would it be more like a mile, 200 feet?
I don't know what a mile is, but sure, let's say mile.
So, I guess then in terms of meters, how far away?
uh, Probably about 5 kilometers or something.
5 kilometers, okay. So, a good distance. But you want to make sure you keep the cave in view, you said, right?
Yeah.
Alright. So. Zequine, you're with them, right?
Yes, but probably ready to go.
Alright. So, time is passing. Now, in your letter, let me just double check it. Did you give them a way to get in touch with you? Or did you just say, I want you to release our friends if you agree?
I did that, and then I also gave him the backup of wait for the owl, and then send a message back with the owl.
Okay, because you... Alright, so you said you'd send an owl after a certain time period?
Yep.
Alright. So... How is this going to play out?
I think Zach might start walking if Scurry's just
Alright.
gonna sit there.
So, are you going to tell Scurry anything about what you're doing, Zach, or are you just going to go?
She'll tell him that she's leaving. If he wants to come,
That she's going to the camp, or...
she's gonna wait to see if the party's moved. Try to do something.
Alright, so she's or go ahead, you could roleplay. So what are you going to say to him?
That's about it. She's going to see if she can do something while they're being moved, if they can be helped.
Alright.
At the very least, don't get spotted. Don't get killed. Don't get captured. And try not to kill any of his men. We just reached out with a...
You just reached out.
Alright, sure, if you want to declare war on the rest of the Iron Tide, go ahead, but I'm not part of it.
Alright, so she's headed back to the northern fort?
Yep.
Alright. So... Let's see... give me a stealth check.
Alrighty, one more.
Are you still at
Not bad.
disadvantage?
Yep.
Oh, alright. So you start heading over there. You do pretty well for the most part, moving quietly through the plains, through the hills, and then the forest. It seems like they have less people out in the woods at this point. Possibly, well, it looks like there's more guards at the actual fort, so maybe they've tightened security for the time being. Where are you going to, or what are you going to try to do once you get to the fort?
Just wait and watch.
Alright, so like in the woods from a distance?
Yeah.
Alright. So... you are waiting... and you see a large group of hobgoblins coming in at one point. They enter the fort, and it looks like they are moving the prisoners. as you see your group being taken out of the cages. Now, you all inside the fort, you are being taken out of the cages and moved. I know your hand ropes are loose, and I assume you're trying to hide that, right?
Yeah.
So anyone who has loose hand ropes, I guess stealth or sleight of hand, unless you could think of a different skill you'd use for this.
I'll just I'll just make my hands grow big enough so they look tight again.
Alright, fair enough. So you use your shape-shifting ability. What about Tal? Or did you still have your hands pretty tight? I think he's listening on his phone call.
I had everybody was loosened. Only one that had his frayed was the ranger. Like his were like ripped apart.
Yeah. So I'll say he tries to hide that fact. Ooh, but does not do very well. And they see that his hands are loose, and they would give him a couple of licks, punches, and tie him up again. Don't! I told you not to try to escape. He kind of has a bloody lip.
Is that the captain?
That was just one of the soldiers.
Okay.
The captain's there watching. Who's the other one that had their hands loose?
I loosened Nalo's as well, but they were like tight enough to, like he could slip out if he put a little effort into it. Then.
Nalo does a better job, and they don't notice his. They check his ropes, but they still seem tight because he hides it better. So they would gather you all up, and they would start marching you out of the camp. Is anyone going to do anything to resist? Or are you just going to let them move you?
Yeah, I don't think we're in the goodest of positions to resist, so I'm not going to put up a resistance.
Alright, so the group with you is quite large. There's about 30 hobgoblins and orcs moving with you. Orcard is apparently taking no chances. Zaquine, you see this. What do you want to do as the group starts getting led south?
Can I pull my hair out?
Your hair out?
Yeah, can I pull my hair out, please? Because
Just like in frustration.
what can I do?
I mean, there's probably... I mean, with just yourself and this large of a force, with your training, you don't know of much you could do without some sort of larger distraction and more allies. Because if you try to sneak towards them, I mean, they're probably just going to capture you. So you might just either watch them, try to sneak in with them. Your options are limited. Freeing them outright would be very difficult to impossible with this many watchers.
And one level of exhaustion still.
Yeah, and the exhaustion is definitely making this harder, unfortunately. So, I mean, tactics-wise, like, without more backup, you might either want to fall back or just follow them for a while and see how far you can get without being spotted. Because if you keep a long enough distance, you're probably okay, even with the disadvantage.
She'll follow. Worst case scenario, it'll tell them where the cave is.
Alright, so you kind of move as a spy. So, what's your...
I got more pebbles. I got more pebbles just in case she gets too close.
Yeah. What is your passive perception?
Mine?
Yeah.
11.
Okay. Fair enough. So you're moving, and as you get here, and you realize you're getting low on forest, a crow seems to swoop down from above, catching you kind of off guard because you didn't notice it was watching you. As it hits the ground, it suddenly transforms, and an elf is standing before you, kind of hiding himself as he's watching the hobgoblins move your allies. He says, "You must be part of their group. I've seen you following them, and I've seen you fighting with them. Who are you?"
Zaquine's probably about on the verge of tears again.
Do you say anything to him, or what are you going to do?
Well, I am their allies, yes, and I would like to possibly help free them, but I'm not really sure what I can do anymore.
So he says, did you give him your name?
No,
No.
not yet.
So here, I'll give you a picture of him. So he seems elven to you. Probably a wood elf, but he has white hair, which is unusual for wood elves, unless they're really old, which he very well could be. It's hard to tell with elves. He has some leathers on him, and a cloak that's seemingly made from leaves, though it's holding up pretty well for just being a leaf cloak. He says, I have been watching your struggle against these hobgoblins. I myself am no friend to them, as they disrupt the ancient ruins nearby. My name is Fedloy. I am a druid of this area. I have watched over this place for a long time, paying reverence to the old dwarven cities that existed long ago.
Zaquan will nervously offer her hand and introduce herself.
So he kind of looks you over.
She is cloaked again.
Yeah. He says, you, as he gets closer and takes your hand, his eyes widen a bit, and he says, you are a tiefling.
What gave it away?
He says, the skin tones, and it's not important, but you seem to be trying to follow your group. Is that correct?
Well, I'd like to do more than just follow if I could.
He says, well,
You don't happen to have an army hidden somewhere, do you?
he says, no. I live here by myself and have lived in this area by myself for a long time. While I can't provide an army, if you wish to follow them quietly, I have a spell that might help.
I would like to continue following them, yes, please.
He nods, and he says, as I said, I don't know what we can do for them, but at least for now, knowledge would be of use. And he's going to cast Pass Without Trace on you. He says, this will make you much more stealthy. And he says, I must stay with you for it to be effective, so I will travel on your being for now. And
That's fine. I have a rat.
So he would turn himself into a rat as he hops up on your shoulder. He says, well, now you have two. So Pass Without Trace will give you plus 10 to your stealth check. And we'll make it so you leave no tracks. Alright, so give me another stealth check as you're following them. You definitely feel much quieter as you move now. 28, alright. So yeah, you feel like you just disappear into nature as you kind of move along the plains following these guys. Even moving through where the tower can see, you still are able to keep yourself hidden. So I'm going to pass some time as you follow your group. And you do see, it looks like they've heightened security as there are several hobgoblins in the tower now. Finally, the group is led into what looks like an old mine shaft, and they disappear into the mines. What do you want to do? Oh wait, I'll give you sight.
May I roll to resume panic?
You can roll to resume panic if you want.
I don't even know what I'd roll.
Intelligence.
No, this might be my worst one.
Clearly.
The rat would whisper, if you follow them in there, it will be quite dangerous. I've seen their forces inside the mine. But my spells should help you move quietly through the darkness. I assume you can see in the darkness as a tiefling.
Yes, I can.
He says, would it be better to report back to your allies as to what has happened, or do you intend to go into the cave yourself and see where they are? I don't know what sort of abilities your allies have, but with help, perhaps it would make this easier if they are stealthy as well.
Would you be able to go into the caves, or do you think it would be too dangerous? I'm not sure how much an attention or rat would bring.
He says, I have moved through these caves to watch them many times. They do not think much of vermin and animals, which allows me to move through fairly undetected. In fact, I think I know where they're going to bring your allies within the caves. The only thing I fear is that they might execute your friends right away. You did cause them quite a problem.
That's what I'm worried about as well.
He says, well, you have an ally in me. Just tell me what you think. Just tell me what you wish to do, and I shall support it.
I will see if I can get my other ally to come assist.
He says, all right, I'll stay with you to help you sneak past their towers. But you should hurry because you probably only have another half hour or so on the spell.
Thank you.
All right, give me another set of stealth checks at disadvantage. So 7 becomes a 17, which actually is not...
That was a natural 1.
Yeah, pass without trace is ridiculous. So they are watching from the tower, which gives them better sight. But luckily, they did not notice you moving through the hills here. And you would make it back to the hill line probably just around the time the hour ends. So you're going back to see Scurry?
Yep.
All right, so it is now probably about 11-ish in the morning. Well, actually, it'd probably be closer to like 1 o'clock in the afternoon because you did spend a bunch of time getting back there. So, Scurry, you've been kind of hiding in the grass, keeping an eye out. It's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon when Zaquine would come back to the camp there. What are you going to do, Zaquine?
I will tell him that I know where the cave is, I know where the party is, and I met a crow that turned into an elf, and then it turned into a rat.
Well, it's a miracle you didn't get spotted, let alone come back alive.
It's all thanks to the crow that turned into an elf that turned into a rat.
One of the rats on her. She has 2 rats on her shoulders, and one of them just squeaks.
Alright, well, Mr. Elf Rat, or Crow person.
So at this point, the rat would jump down, and he would poof. Once again, turning into the elven person with white hair and a staff. He says, greetings, I am Fedloy.
Nice to meet you.
He says, I have seen your struggle against the hobgoblins, and I wish to help. They are no friend to these lands.
I see. So, just to know where you're at, what is your plan? Are you wanting to get rid of them forever, aka put them down, or are you just trying to get them to leave here?
He says, well, I do not wish for their demise, more that they just leave, but I don't think I could just walk up to them and ask them to leave.
Agreed. I have sent a letter to their leader, a letter of negotiations, which would allow them to mutually complete their goals in this area and leave, which would be, first of all, getting the money from Blackwater that they were promised. By the way, they were hired by Blackwater, which is some guy from the nearby town, and they'd also be receiving him as a prisoner, and which point they should be leaving.
Blackwater.
And
Galen Blackwater. Are you sure of this?
yeah, could have. Yeah.
Why would he bring the Iron Tide here?
Because he was using them to dig up artifacts in this area, but then Blackwater betrayed him, is from what I'm gathering. I don't know the exact entire picture, but Blackwater, the Blood Hand, and the Iron Tide were in cahoots to acquire items in this area. They got backstabbed by Blackwater, and now they're digging up the area here in order to make the trip across the desert worth it.
Who told you this?
The prisoner we interrogated.
So Fedloy,
And it aligns with the actions of Blackwater, as well as the Blood Hand.
He thinks about this a bit. He says, the Blood Hand. I'm not familiar with this Blood Hand. Who are they?
They're a underground, slightly sketchy organization.
Criminals.
I see. Well, that makes sense as my familiarity with the Empire and cities is limited. He says, I have been to Chaur. I trade with them. They're good people. I am very surprised to hear Galen Blackwater is involved in this. He's generally fairly charitable with the people of Chaur. So you think that capturing Blackwater and these thieves and presenting them to the Iron Tide will sate their wish for artifacts and have them leave?
I think with the amount of losses that they've already taken, as well as the disgruntled members of the Iron Tide of being here for too long, I do think that should this plan come to fruition, and Orcard would agree that will be the case.
Give me a persuasion check at advantage. Remarkable. I never would have even thought that there would be a chance for some kind of diplomacy. But this does sound like a somewhat solid plan. As you said, you have weakened them.
My main concern is getting my party out, otherwise I might not even have considered the diplomatic option this early at least. But
He says,
I
yes.
think that the best way to keep my party members alive for the meanwhile is to open communication, and
Well,
that way provide value to my party members alive for Orcard rather than dead.
he says your group is in considerable danger. Left to the whims of Orcard, he might just decide to execute them to make sure he weakens your position. I don't know what sort of message or what exactly you said to him in your message, but I think that trying to free them might be a safer bet for their survival. He says, however, this would also be a very difficult task, as we would have to break into the mines and figure out a way to sneak them out. He says, how good are you at being stealthy?
Incredibly good, but my party members aren't.
He says, well...
Exception of Zach, of course, but she's quite tired.
He says, yes, I can see she's been wounded. I do have a spell that could help. A spell of nature that will hide your tracks as well as make you incredibly quiet and hard to see within the caves. It could help your whole group if they stayed close. But this would be a difficult undertaking and very dangerous. I could see an argument for leaving them as prisoner and hoping for the best, but also a plan could be hatched to try to free them. He says, what do you think would be the better choice? You will have my assistance either way, as I want these hobgoblins out of here.
Well, even if they're not directly involved in the rescue mission, I think everyone here is somehow affected by this decision. So I propose that everyone here present, that includes the farmers and soldiers, vote on whether we try and stage a rescue mission today, or if we wait to see if the diplomacy option becomes available tomorrow once the owl gets back.
He nods. He says, well, I shall await your decision, or the decision of your group. Just let me know what you wish to do. He says, you have my help. So yeah, what does the... Or go ahead.
They could be dead by tomorrow.
That's why we're voting on it. Your vote is for rescuing him tonight. I'd like to see what the farmers and soldiers vote for.
So the farmers, they don't really, they wouldn't really be involved in the rescue. They would probably just, they would probably just say, they would defer to the wisdom of those in charge, because they don't know much about a rescue mission or any of that.
The soldiers?
The soldiers, let's see. So those with military training, it's sort of a split decision. There's a couple who think that waiting would be safer because they think that you going in there could get you killed. Others that think if you have this magic, this druid who can hide you with his nature magics, then it seems like a good idea to try to get your people and sneak them out. I'll say because I don't want to make a decision as a DM, I'll say it's split because I kind of want you guys to make this call.
That's fair. Damn it.
That was the whole point of me asking you, because or else I'm kind of leading the group.
I know. Try to throw it back at you.
Use that math rock y'all keep in your back pockets to decide.
Very well. We'll try and
Roll the
rescue them
dice.
tonight, Zach. But I must say that at the first inclination that we're spotted, I will run as fast as I can. And it is up to you to get out of there. The moment we get spotted is every man for himself.
I think I have a way of helping, Fedloy says. There is a spell I have, which I can only use once for today, that can relieve you of some of your exhaustion and heal those wounds that would usually take a day. But
How would you do that?
As I said, I can only do it once. So he.
How did the party look? Does it look like they might have exhaustion as well?
Yeah. So well, actually, Zaquine, do you have medicine?
No.
So they, how would they look to you? Do you have really, or what's your passive perception? You're wounded though. So yeah, I'd say Zaquine probably couldn't tell from where she was.
The druid?
Oh, that's true. I guess the druid flew up to them. He would say they seem tired. They have not been fed, so the lack of food probably got to them.
In that case, since Zach is sneaky no matter what, it might be best to save that for once we've rescued our friends.
He says, well, I can't do it. Well, actually, can I do it to all of them? Let me check.
Or at least one of the less stealthy ones. And again, if it produces a lot of sound or might get us detected when we're inside the cave, then that's a no-go.
He says, I can only do it to one person. And I can only do it once. And you would see him produce a very old-looking leafy scroll from his back.
Very well. I guess we just use it on Zach and we get going.
He nods. Did Tal get back? Or is he still on the call?
He's not here.
I believe he's still.
I'm here.
Oh,
wait,
he's
he's
here. Okay.
I just came back.
Gotcha. All right. So you have kind of been listening?
Yeah, I didn't get everything, but yeah.
All right. So the druid would pull out the scroll, start reading it as his eyes and hands glow, and Zaquine, you would feel the energies kind of coercing, or not coercing, but like caressing you, and your level of exhaustion goes away. And he says, "Be cautious. I cannot do that again."
Well, I appreciate it.
He says, "Now, as for the spell that makes you more stealthy, I can only do that a few more times, which would only give us a couple of hours worth of improved ability to stealth. So it might be better if we could approach the cave from a hidden position rather than me having to use the spell to get past the towers." He says, "I don't suppose you had an easy way to get to the mine entrance."
We could always go around. Avoid the tower as much as possible.
He says the mountains are an option, but there is the wyvern that lives in the mountains.
I'd rather avoid that thing if we can. I much more like my chances trying to sneak around that tower with that spell of yours than I do trying to fight a wyvern.
I actually had an idea for that too.
Oh.
That is the big flying thing, right?
Yes, by myself, I can easily avoid it because it pays very little attention to vermin and insect life. But with the two of you, you could, if it spots you, you could be seen as a tasty snack.
I was considering maybe while the group is being moved, we could have lured that to the group, but that's in the past now. That would have been fun, though.
He nods and says, "Well, if you are confident in your abilities to hide without my magic, I could lead you through the mountains, and you could try to stay out of sight as we do so. Maybe avoid the wyvern. Otherwise, I could just try to use one of the spells and bring you past the towers directly, but that would use one of the spells and cut down on our time."
Let's go through the mountain then. To be honest, I'm confident that I can get past that wyvern. You're no longer tired, Zach, so you should be fine, right?
Yes, I should be okay.
Excellent. He says, "Let us go then. Just know this, when I do use that spell, the one that hides you, you must stay within 30 feet of me at all times. If you move outside of it, you will no longer gain the benefit. This will come into play later."
I am going to leave my cloak here just in case I have to lie, since they don't know exactly what I look like. Please don't look at me.
You telling that to...
Both of them. Yep.
I'd like to take a good look.
You've already been able to. She took it off when it was soaking wet.
He says, "It might be hard to travel without ever looking at you, but I suppose I could attempt it."
That would be much appreciated.
He says, "Are you ashamed of your appearance as a tiefling?" He would say kind of in a low voice so the humans don't hear you.
She's not going to respond to that.
He says, "You should not be ashamed of who you are, friend, but of course that is for you to figure out. Let us head out." Alright, so the group's heading, I assume, north, kind of up to this area, then cutting across to stay out of the sight of the tower, and then head into the mountains over here. Or do you have a different route you want to take?
I am fine with following the druid. He knows where to go.
Alright, so he sort of starts walking through the plains with you, trying to keep himself hidden. You would note that he is actually fairly stealthy himself. Probably not as good as you, Scurry, but he's not terrible at stealthing. So he moves through the forest, and you would see, as you go through, that the fort has inhabitants again as you move up north. Go ahead.
Not trying to be rude, but Sequine is going to inquire about his age. Repeating that she's not trying to be rude.
He turns to you and laughs, and he says, I am quite old. I'll just say that.
You don't look it. Well, your hair is white, but...
This is your kind, but I've spent many years in the plains here. I've been... Well, he says, since the reemergence, I've called this land home. And you all know that the reemergence was about 400 years ago. That's when the people came up after the cataclysm from the deep. Give me a stealth check as you're moving across this area.
Nah, I'm good.
Scurry, give me a stealth check.
Alright.
The druid did pretty well. Alright, so,
We're both really good at stealth. Phenomenal.
so your high rolls are a 18 and a 10. Alright, as you are moving across... Well, apparently the tower still did not notice you, luckily. But as you're moving through this last leg here, you hear "Purr," a horn blows from the tower. And the druid curses. He says, we must move quickly. And he just starts rushing towards the mountains. I assume the two of you follow?
Yep.
Very much so.
So we got spotted, we think?
You think so, or at least you heard a horn blow from the south. You know it'll probably take them a while to get people there and figure out what happened. So you move into the mountains here. You do notice a group of 5. Several of them have horns moving up towards where they saw you. Fedloy just keeps moving into the mountains. What about the two of you? Do you want to do anything?
I'll follow.
Alright. Give me another stealth check. That's a little bit better. Oh yeah, so you guys are doing much better with the rocks as cover. You would see behind you the hobgoblins sort of making their way to where you were just spotted. And as you enter the mountains, you lose some sight. But they kind of come to the area over where you just were, and they're looking around for you. The druid starts to shapeshift, turning into a bird, and he says, there might be some climbing needed. I hope you are all sturdy, and I would need some athletics checks.
Didn't know that was going to be involved. Alright, well,
He
we'll
says,
see.
he says, I'll try to lead us through on footpaths, but there will be some amount of climbing. Alright. So,
I was looking though, Tabaxi have a climb speed, so doesn't that...
do you have a climb speed, Scurry?
Think so.
They get a 10 feet climb speed easy, I think.
Okay, so that means...
Climbing speed of 20 feet.
20 feet.
So as long as you're not doing extended climbs, you're actually okay then. Because if you're doing quick climbs, which is mostly what he's leading you through, you can just move up, quick, small climbs without getting tired, because you just kind of claw into the walls and move up. So yeah, you're okay. And Zaquine, you're okay with a 12. So time is passing. It is probably now about 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
What's going on in the caves?
What caves? Oh, inside? So far, they brought the party inside and put them in a cage. But they haven't done anything else yet. And actually, yeah, let me cut back to inside really quick. Inside the caves. The map organizing in Roll20 is atrocious. Oh, there it is. Just took me a moment to find it. I assume it just looks dark to all of you, right? Alright, so the two of you, I'll say they put you in separate cages, but you, the two of you who are here, Tal and Zerx, you should see yourself appearing in a moment. And Tal. And there are some torches in this area at least, because they want to keep an eye on you. So let me add those.
It is black.
It's dark!
It is very dark in here. And I probably, since you might be coming in here later, I might keep it dark for those of you who aren't here. You can see now, though, right? Tal and Zerx?
Yes.
Alright, so you've been in this cave for a while, inside the cage here. There are several lights, and you would see down the hall a ways, there are a couple of hobgoblin guards who are keeping an eye on you. What do you want to do, if anything? Or are you just going to wait for now? So far, they haven't had anyone come and see you.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna wait.
Alright, so you are waiting for now, just kind of keeping an eye on things. I'll say that since this took a while, as you've been sitting in here, maybe around like 1 o'clock or so, your cage would be approached. You would see a hobgoblin dressed much differently from some of the others. And here I got a picture for you. He seems younger, looks a little bit more, I don't want to say handsome, but better looking than some of the hobgoblins you've seen, and he is wearing more like robes and carrying a staff on his back, which makes him more distinct from the other hobgoblins. He would approach the cave and say, yeah, let me check this note really quick. He would approach the cave and he would say, "Prisoners, I wish to speak with you."
Okay. We are At your mercy.
He says, we received a note from your friends. I wanted to ask you, is it true that you are willing to turn against Blackwater to help our people?
Willing? I think we already are turning against him, from what we heard here.
Give me a persuasion check.
From both of us, or just one?
Probably Tal. So he would eye Tal and say, so you weren't initially sent here by Blackwater then? He says, I've been told by one of my people who you took prisoner that you're here on behalf of the people of Chaur because of the siege that had occurred.
That is correct.
He says, so what did you hope to gain from coming here and facing us?
To relieve the people of Chaur of the siege. There are people starving and suffering for no reason besides your falling out with Blackwater.
So you are doing it more as a charitable cause than to make money.
Indeed. Not that we're not making money at the same time. We are mercenaries as you are. But our main motive was to help the people of Chaur.
He says this does ring true from what the prisoner told, or from what our from the freed prisoner, what he told us of you. He says we will most likely talk to your allies. So for the time being, I just want to let you know that we will not kill you. Now, if you attempt something like an escape, I cannot guarantee that. So I suggest you stay where you are and let us figure this out. Agreed?
I can promise that we will not escape, but if any of your other goblins wished to ill will towards us, we will defend ourselves accordingly.
He says, none of my people will harm you if you stay in that cage. This I guarantee.
And if my allies decide to do something stupid...
He says, would they? They just offered a peace treaty with us. I assume they would not attack us.
I don't know, honestly. One of them seems rash and emotional, one seems more put together. There's no telling.
He says, well, as I said, as long as you stay put, you will be spared. And he would walk away, unless you're saying anything else.
No, that's it.
Alright, so back to outside. The group has made its way through the mountains, and I need a stealth check as you approach the front gate. Or the front entrance to the mine. Alright, so Fedloy and Zaquine carry this one. As you get close, the two of them kind of cover for Scurry, and you can see the entrance is guarded by 3 guards. You don't see a good way to sneak past them, though. Fedloy would say, usually I would turn into some sort of creature to get past, though I don't know how I'm going to get the two of you inside. Any ideas?
Could you turn us into creatures?
This is no, my transformation powers are limited to myself, and I can only do those a certain number of times per day.
Damn it.
He says, do you have any magics of your own? Perhaps some sort of invisibility or something to distract? Illusion magics, perhaps?
Nope.
He says,
Give me
well,
the proper stuff and I can start a fire.
do you have any
Well,
ideas then as how you could get in?
Well, from what I was aware of. I thought we'd be able to sneak in unnoticed in some way by being stealthy, but it doesn't look like we're able to do that quite. And I don't feel comfortable attacking these guys and trying to take them out quietly, mostly because there's 3 of them.
Fedloy thinks for a moment.
I have a tinderbox.
Like I said, I don't want to draw any attention.
He says a distraction could be a way in. I don't think attacking them is a good answer, as if you're going to attempt diplomacy later, then killing any of them could be dangerous. But distraction might be an option.
What kind of distraction could we pull that would not arouse suspicion as to our actual motive?
He says, I could try to lead them away, as I have the ability to assume animal form. If they saw me, they might chase me for a while, then I could turn into a bird and fly away. That might give you a window to quickly sneak inside. That would mean I'd be separated from you for a bit, but after I gave them the slip, I could probably sneak back in some sort of animal or bird form.
What are you thinking, Zach?
I mean, it could work.
What's the likelihood of them realizing that they've been duped?
He says,
and ringing an alarm?
He says, I don't know if they would ring an alarm unless they actually saw someone slip inside. Although it's always possible, I assume, or I suppose.
I mean, if they see you change from one animal into another one, I'm assuming they'll react.
He says, well, if I could give them the slip with my stealth ability, I would probably do that over turning into an animal and flying away.
That's fair.
He says, if I go from a distance, I would possibly give myself enough time to escape while they pursue. My worry is that they'll leave someone behind to watch the door. But I think
if there's only one, I can take him out. But that would require... Well, I can incapacitate him.
He says...
Well, I can incapacitate him, yeah.
Yeah, if you could knock him unconscious, that would probably be for the best. Alright, is that the plan then? I shall lead them away so you two can sneak inside?
Sure, let's see what happens.
He says, now
stay safe.
How long do you think it would take for you to return to us?
He says that could vary. It depends on how long it takes me to give them the slip. But one other thing I forgot to ask. Actually, let me check something, because I do have an answer for this. He looks to Scurry, and he says, you can't see in the dark, I assume.
I have dark vision.
Oh, you do? My apologies. I did not realize your kind could do that. Very well, then never mind. I do not need to help you in that way.
Of course he can see in the dark. He's a kitty cat.
Well, I don't know. This game has some weird rules for dark vision. I always forget who can and can't see in the dark. That's me as GM, not him as Fedloy.
That was Zach.
Yeah, fair enough. So he says, let me get into position. And as for when I'll be back, well, that is up in the air. So you'll have to probably sneak around in there for a bit without me. So be very careful.
You be careful as well, please.
He nods. So he sneaks off to the side, does fairly well, and he will kind of come out this way, and you would see him just kind of very casually walk out. The hobgoblins would look over, and he would sort of act as if he is surprised that they caught view of him as he was kind of keeping to the grass, and he suddenly rushes away. The one says, he looks around and curses. He says, you two, after him. and 2 of the soldiers rush off into the grass following. And the one guy is kind of looking around now, very cautiously, trying to keep an eye out. What do the 2 of you want to do? It looks like he does have his hand on his horn, as if he is ready to blow it, but he doesn't want to unless he has to.
Well, you wanna see how hard we can hit this guy? How quickly?
Out of character, we can't do a non-lethal with a arrow, right?
No, you have to sneak up to him, which would require a stealth check. Now, there are a lot of rocks around him because of the cave mouth and the mountain area, but yeah, you would have to stealth up to him. Unless you just wanted to kill him and hide the body and pretend it wasn't you.
That wouldn't work.
I don't know how this guy died. So yeah, you would have to sneak up to him using stealth if you want to knock him out.
Alright, Zach, are we pulling the trigger on this?
If we're going to, now's the time.
Alright,
Agreed.
So if you're sneaking up to him, you can't help each other to get close. I will have to take both of your stealth checks into account. Because you'd be close, there wouldn't be enough time to assist.
Fuck.
So 10. Alright, so as you're sneaking up, Scurry kind of stumbles a bit on some rocks, and the hobgoblin spins around. Give me initiative rolls. And I know I'm going to have to pull your tokens out for this.
God damn it.
God damn it. Remember, you do have inspiration points. Maybe. I don't know if some of you still have them.
I do, yeah, but I have to do that before another roll, right?
Yes. But for
I forgot I had them, otherwise I would have used them, but it's whatever. Next time.
For pivotal moments, sometimes they come in handy. So yeah, go ahead, give me initiative rolls. Luckily, you're pretty close to him, but he does get to turn around and possibly act before you, which it looks like he is going for the horn.
Thank God I rolled high.
Now the question is, does the hobgoblin roll high? Where is the hobgoblin? Hang on. Oh. And Zaquine?
I rolled in the wrong spot.
Uh,
Be higher. No!
Alright. So, Scurry, you do get to act first as he is going for the horn. What are you going to do? Oh, it went in the exact order it was supposed to.
Okay, I will go ahead and just try and hit him with a non-lethal attack.
Alright, so you're going to rush up at him. Unfortunately, you would not have sneak attack unless you're going to shoot at him.
But I would because I have advantage.
Oh, do you have, Oh, because you got the assassin thing.
Goes
Gotcha.
first.
Gotcha. Okay. I always forget about that. Alright, so yes, you rush up. So he's kind of like, huh? As he's grabbing for his horn. 24 would strike, so give me an attack with sneak attack.
Come on.
11 would actually be his exact hit points.
Fuck yes.
So you rush up and just deliver a powerful punch, and his nose shatters. He goes and falls over backwards, hitting the floor. And you guys are safe, as you have not yet been discovered. Zaquine probably runs up and is now standing over him as well, and he's like, "Argh." So he is successfully rendered unconscious. What do you two want to do?
I would like to try and hide the body in the rocks in the mountain, if I can take some time to do that.
Alright, so you know he's going to be unconscious for 1d4 hours, most likely, if you just leave him here. So you pull him off to the side. Give me a stealth check to hide the body. And how far away from the cave entrance are you hiding it?
Uh,
You see the guards are gone. They chased They chased the druids somewhere into the rocks over here, so they're not back yet.
Far enough that if you were just like walking up and away from the entrance of the cave, you would not see it.
So maybe like 50 meters or so.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
All right, so you and Zequine quickly drag him back. You two can work together to hide him. Give me stealth checks, or well, I was gonna say or survival, but I'm pretty sure you're gonna use stealth. All right, so yeah, you pile some rocks on top of him, but make sure you leave him enough room to breathe. And you're heading into the cave.
Before I do that, I will gag him and hog tie him.
Okay.
How much feet of rope do I use for that, so that way I can?
Probably about 10 feet, I'd say,
All right.
because you're tying up his hands and feet together. And yeah, I guess you just rip off some piece of cloth to tie around his face. All right, so you're heading inside.
I am going to find a spot of dirt he will be able to see when he wakes up, and I am going to write sorry in it.
All right, very polite captors. So you head into the cave. And I assume you are stealthing as you come inside. So give me those stealth checks.
Scurry, come on!
This was your idea.
Trying to get us caught.
Well, luckily there's no one around at the moment. So you guys come in down here. There's no one around at the moment, so even though Scurry is not doing the best, you're also assisting him because there's no one in close range. So with a 22, you're both being fairly quiet. Where are you going to go? It seems like the cave opens in 3 different directions as you come in. You would hear noise coming from the north. It sounds like mining coming from the east and noise coming from the west. There's definitely hobgoblins in here.
Well, now would be a good time to have Fedloy with us.
Do you want to wait for him?
If Scurry would like to.
I'd like to, in that case, let's sit outside, hide around the entrance of the cave, and make sure that Fedloy is the first one to come back and not the hobgoblins.
All right. So give me an event roll, d20. 15. All right, so you wait. Probably takes, I'd say, maybe like 2 or 3 minutes after you go back out. But you would see the crow fly in. You don't think he sees you because he just goes right for the cave and just sort of flies towards it. What do you want to do?
As I see him flying in, I'm just going to stand up from my cover and like
All right.
motion towards him.
So he looks down towards you and flies in, landing on Zequine's shoulder. Oh wait, actually he would have to transform. Curses. That was another shapeshift he had to use. So he transforms back to his human self, and he will do another pass without trace spell, giving you all a +10. He curses and says, I only have 1 more shapeshift left. I must be cautious of how I use it.
Thank you.
All right, well, let's get going.
Alright, so now you head into the caves with a +10 to your stealth checks. So I'll say he's with you. I'm not going to put him on the map, but I'll say he's probably walking beside you as he's stealthing. So give me stealth checks, and yeah, which way are you going to go?
Well, the guy knows where they're kept, right?
He would say, I believe they are somewhere to the north, if I had to guess.
All right, to the north we go.
He says, we are going to have to go through the heart of the cave, which is where most of the hobgoblins are, so stay cautious. So yeah, give me some stealth checks.
29.
29 and 22. Alright, so you all move as shadows using the darkness. And you can move yourselves, actually. You could just start wandering. But yeah, he would say let's head north.
And I imagine he's going to point and not just say
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah, he points in the shadows like you would see him pointing up north. So as you get here, you would notice some individuals. Let me show you what you see. You see one of those monks, the hobgoblin monks, speaking with two soldiers sort of in the center here. So far, they don't seem to have noticed you. What do you want to do? Fedloy would probably point in this direction. I will need another stealth check to go past them.
30.
Which direction did he point?
This way. So 30 and 22. Alright. So go ahead. You can start moving through the rocks.
35.
35. Alright. So yeah, you move through the rocks, keeping the shadows and the rocks between you and the hobgoblins. Go ahead, Zaquine. And they do not notice you. Do either of you speak Goblinoid?
Nope.
Okay, so yeah, you're not sure what they're saying. Alright, so as you come over to here, you hear a bunch of noise coming from this area. And a platoon of hobgoblins starts moving past. You see there are 15 of them coming down this way. I'm not going to put all of them there. But it looks like they're moving towards you to get to the entrance. Give me another set of stealth checks. As you stay
31.
within the rocky area. Luckily, you are all rolling pretty good, so they move around where you are, unaware of your position, heading down this way. Go ahead, you can keep moving.
I will gesture towards the druid and like point which direction we gotta go. Like, where do we go?
He thinks for a moment, and he points to the north. Alright, so you quickly move across the cave floor, getting back in the rocks up there.
Again, left or right?
He would point this way. So as you get to this area, you would see a new hobgoblin that you have not seen before coming down the hall here. And let me get you a picture of him. He seems to have a staff and be wearing a bunch of robes. He is walking kind of past where you are, so I need another stealth check. As he kind of goes around these rocks here. 15, so 25. Zaquine?
21.
21. And the druid... Oh yeah, druid got pretty high. So he walks around you all, and you notice him head down this passageway here into the shadows. Go ahead, you can keep moving again. And Fedloy would point up this way.
This is going to be quite the distance to get them out.
So up ahead, you see torches, which is the first sign of light in this cave you've seen. And I don't know, can you see anything else from here?
I can see the edge of a cage.
Yeah, so it looks like there is some sort of cage up ahead.
Alright, how are we getting rid of the guards?
Ah,
So this guy is probably standing here. There are some rocks here, but you'd have to go very close, which would mean probably a stealth check at disadvantage to sneak past through the rocks there. Or you could try to do something else. Fedloy would whisper, "Since only 2 of them came after me, I assume you took care of the 3rd one. Is he asleep or dead?"
He's asleep, he's taking a nap, and he's hog-tied and gagged a reasonable way outside of the cave. They
His
won't
nose is
find him
broken.
anytime soon.
Says, "Alright, well, they will most likely find him at some point, so our time is somewhat limited. I only have 1 shapeshift, so I don't want to use it to move past these guards unless I'm going to stay in that form. Do you have any thoughts on how we can get past the guards or get them out of here?"
There's 2 options, either a distraction, probably with your wild shape, or we try and sneak past. But that leaves the issue of how the hell are we gonna get our entire party past those 2 guards there, once we free them.
or we could just have them take a nap, and then we'd have to be quick after that.
You realize that one of them makes as much as a fucking peep that gets heard by someone else in this cave, which has very nice acoustics. We're fucked.
I think I have an idea, although it would require the use of my last shapeshift. He says I could try to burrow through the dirt with one of my transformation forms to get them to a different part of the cave. But from there, I don't know what we do. And I don't know how long it would be till the guards notice they've escaped the cage, unless we get rid of the guards somehow.
I think having the guards take a nap is our only option here.
But how would we knock out all 3 of them without one of them making noise?
There's a 3rd one.
He
That is.
points down the hall over here. He says, I guess we could wait and see if there's a shift change, but then we would lose the rest of my spell. I have 1 more I can cast since we didn't use one to get here. That would give us another hour of stealthiness.
would
You
just have
need
to
to
get out
move
in
with
an
us, because
hour.
otherwise we don't get the effect of the spell either.
He nods. He says, but I could move with you. Oh, you mean to separate? Yeah, if I was going to dig them out. He says, one of the guards probably has a key on them.
Well, I'm confident in my ability to take out 1, but I don't think I can take out all 3, or we can take out all 3 without getting seen or spotted or anything.
He says,
If we manage to sneak past, what does the rest of that place look like? Can we try and perhaps break free our friends without getting spotted?
says
If
well,
I take out the forest one quietly, the other 2, which way are they looking? Are they looking towards the,
they're sort of looking around. So mostly they're looking this way, but every now and then they'll glance back at the prisoners.
I can take the one out quietly, and then we can focus on the other 2.
So we try and sneak past, take out the one, and then take out the other 2.
Yes. Although you hit pretty hard yourself, you might be better at doing that.
That's fine.
Let me
So that's the plan.
There's one more option I could possibly... Can I do this? Oh, I can't do it. It's Ranger. Never mind. I was going to say if he had the silence spell, but he does not.
Alright, well, let's get going then. Let's hope we don't get spotted.
Alright, so you would sneak past here, which would require you to get very close to him. While you're doing that, well, first of all, give me the stealth check at disadvantage as you're moving through the rocks next to him.
I'm going to move up with them to here.
Alright, and you can use inspiration at this point to give yourself advantage and make it a wash. If you think it's worth it.
I will use one inspiration die for this.
Alright, so you make an inspired stealth check, drawing upon your past confidences in yourself. So, is that the 15?
So I roll disadvantage and I add 8 or what? How does it work?
No, it's just a wash. So instead of having disadvantage, you would have just a normal roll.
Ah, okay. Let me roll it. There we go.
So
27.
What about you, Zaquine?
Roll with disadvantage.
Alright.
Am I?
Well, like I said, if you want, you can use an inspiration point to get rid of it, or you can just roll with disadvantage.
Yeah, I'll use an inspiration point.
Alright, so you both use 1. Oh, 34. Yeah, you guys are really quiet. As you're moving past, you do see keys on his belt, which you would imagine could be the keys to the cage.
You said you wanted to pan back over to the people in the cage, or?
No, I said that you see keys on his belt that could be for the cage.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to do anything about that as you sneak past. You could try to do a sleight of hand to undo the keys from his belt.
What does the lock look like? Because at this point I have full view of the cage as well, if I wasn't still here.
So there is a door on the side of the cage here, and it looks like you would just put the key into the door and turn it to unlock it.
Does it look like a hard lock to lockpick?
Probably not. I mean, these types of cages are usually just shit locks because they don't expect people to have time to break in.
And it's on this side, you said, right?
Yeah, it's on the very corner here.
Where's this guy looking?
He seems bored, like he's half paying attention, just kind of maybe leaning against the rocks up here. But he's basically looking at the cage.
Alright, I will continue going around. I won't even reveal myself to the party if they can't, like, roll high enough to see me.
Actually, give me a d20 roll at this point for events.
Sure.
Either of you. Oh. So as you're kind of sneaking, this guy stretches and would start walking this way. He says something in Goblinoid to this guy, and he nods, and then he just starts walking down this way. Zaquine, what are you doing while this is happening?
Just watching, trying to make myself very small.
Alright, so you're still standing still, so I don't need another stealth check from you. But he would kind of go down this way and disappear from view. So Scurry, Tal, and Zerks. You probably can't see Scurry with that +10. He's super stealthy right now. But you've kind of been sitting in the cage. It's been quiet. So yeah, Scurry, Zaquine, what do you want to do? Did the druid go with Scurry or stay with Zaquine? Because I thought
He
you
went
were...
with me, as far as I'm aware.
All
I
right.
didn't know Zach was staying behind, but...
Yeah. Were you staying behind Zach, or...?
Uh,
I thought you were sneaking past them.
I was gonna stay here, so after Scurry took down that one guy, I could rush up and hit the other. But now that the guy's gone, looks like it's time to attack.
Yeah, you're not sure where he went, but he stepped out, at least for the time being.
Alright, in that case, I will motion to the druid that I'm going to take out the guys there now, and I'll sneak up, get as close as I can,
All right.
and then attempt to take them out.
Zaquine, are you staying back there?
When I see him moving up.
Well, I guess
You
could-
wouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, you probably don't know where he is right now if you didn't follow him. But you're pretty far away from them, so I don't know if you could do much right now.
I could get up there.
Alright, so yeah, that's kind of what I was asking. Are you sneaking towards them, or are you staying back here?
I'm waiting for some sort of sign from Scurry that it's time to take them out.
So how would... Yeah, I guess Scurry, how would you signal her? Or what are you going to do?
I have no clue how to signal her without me getting seen.
Alright, so the druid sort of looks around, looks at your group, kind of shrugs.
Damn it. Alright, guess this is what it's gonna be. I will go ahead and attempt to take this guy out. I will
Alright.
just...
Give me initiative rolls.
Doesn't he automatically crit?
I do automatically crit.
If you hit him.
Mhm.
Which you
If you don't hit him with advantage, there's...
If he crits, doesn't that as an auto hit, isn't it?
It is not. You
Oh,
still have
okay.
to get past his armor class. You do have advantage, but you still have to hit him. So yeah, give me initiative checks.
Oh, at least I'm going quick.
Damn it.
But don't worry, you got the surprise round.
You
Yeah,
do
yeah.
have surprise, and let me get Fedlight in there. I don't think I have a token for him. No, I don't. Okay. So he got a 17. Alright, and the hobgoblins. $19. Good roll for them. Alright, so suddenly, seemingly out of nowhere, Scurry pops up and attacks Zaquine. You would actually go first. You're not surprised. What do you want to do?
Don't I get the attack first because of the surprise round?
Well, there's no surprise round. There's just a surprise condition, and right now the hobgoblins are surprised. But Zaquine would get to go first as she sees you kind of coming out of the shadows. Because she... Oh wait, how would that work? Because when their turn comes up, they are no longer surprised.
For one round, they don't go, is generally the way it's done, right?
Yeah,
So-
yeah. So basically, when their turn comes up, they are surprised, and then they lose their turn. But after that, I don't think they're surprised. So
No, you basically our ally, anybody who's surprised loses their turn, and then you pick up like normal.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean,
From the start of their second turn, they're no longer surprised, I'm assuming.
Is that how it is? I thought it was.
That's how I've always done it, but I don't know.
Like the way I've always done it is you do the surprise rounds. That just negates all the mechanics, like that, all the confusion at least.
So there isn't a surprise round in 5th. I know that. But let me double check if they are considered surprised their whole turn. Because I thought it was just until they went, and then they lose their turn and surprise goes away.
Basically, like an ambush, like if you're not expecting it, you're not prepared. All of a sudden, you're getting attacked. You lose your like any reaction, anything like, and then after the first surprise round, then it picks up on turn order for rolls. So essentially, Zach would do two actions.
All right.
Because
let me just play it like that. So I'll say they're surprised for this whole turn. So Zaquine, you would act first. What are you doing?
I will move and dash.
All right. So you come rushing out. Weapons drawn.
Yep.
All right. So they are surprised. You would have advantage, but I assumed you were doing a non-lethal attack, right?
Yes.
All right. So go ahead. Give me an attack roll at advantage. 22 would strike. Go ahead and roll damage.
Nope, wrong one.
Alright, so 20 would definitely, and you said subdual damage, right?
Yes.
So he is slammed with the pommel of your rapier as several of his teeth fly out of his mouth. He spins around, falling down prone. This guy's like, "Oh!" And he looks at you as if he's going for his sword. However, he is surprised. Fedloy goes. He jumps out and is going to grab the guy, grabbing for his horn. Scurry, what are you doing?
I will attempt to take him out. A non-lethal assassination.
Alright, go ahead, give me an attack roll at advantage.
A non-lethal assassination.
21 would strike, so yeah, you get auto crit.
How does that work? Like, how can I make it a crit?
You can just roll it, then add, just roll extra dice. So 5,
Alright.
7, then just roll another d8 and 2d6. So yeah, that's a lot of damage. Bang! So you slam into him, maybe get him in a chokehold as Fedloy is holding him, and he as well is out. And it is quiet again.
Alright, let's drag these out of the direct line of sight and get the people out of here.
So Zerx and Tal, you saw this. Suddenly out of nowhere, as you were kind of sitting there, Zaquine came charging in from the darkness, took that guy out, and then Scurry just jumped on the other one. I don't know if you want to do anything, but yeah. So where are you? Go ahead.
Fucking idiots. Oh god. Are they dead?
It
No,
doesn't
they're
look,
alive.
doesn't look like they killed them. No. So where are you bringing the bodies?
Like
Put 'em in
Behind the
down
cage.
there. Yeah,
Alright,
behind the cage.
So you kind of drag them behind. And yeah, you would see the druid is with them, and he grabs the keys as you do so, coming over and unlocking the cage. He says, "We must move quickly."
So the leader got your note and he was on board, just so you know.
I'll leave a note here for him that the offer is still up.
We didn't kill any of his men.
You bring out your quill and ink. Sorry, signed group.
Sorry.
So
I will just write in the sand or write on a piece of paper. The offer is still up. We
Fair
didn't
enough.
kill anyone. This is just secure our safety.
Oh god.
all right, so you're
about-
tracing all that in the dirt.
Yeah.
All right,
So, did we happen to see where all our gear went as we were being escorted away, or did it get left behind?
You are not sure. You think it might actually still be at the base because you didn't see anyone bringing it with them.
Well, I'm gonna quickly grab armor off these guys and gear up, and then transform into a hobgoblin.
So it will take you 10 minutes to doff the armor because it's heavy.
I'll just take. Basically. I just the bare minimum. Then that doesn't require me to take that much time.
Grab his helmet or something.
His helmet, his shield, his sword, whatever
Alright.
else.
So you grab
Yeah,
some
same.
of this stuff. Tal as well will grab a shield, a sword, maybe a helmet. And Fedloy says, "If you stay close to me, my spell will keep you silent. Unless there's somewhere else the group wishes to go in the cave, I shall lead you back to the entrance."
Let's get the fuck out of here. We shouldn't have been there in the first place.
No,
go.
no, you shouldn't. Alrighty.
Also, where's Nalo?
That's true. Where is that?
Oh, I knew it was quiet.
I knew we
Way
forgot
too-
something. Fedloy would say there is another place they might be holding him. We can go check there. It's not too far away.
No, we just need a message now, and just everybody say tell him sorry, not any context.
Sorry.
I'm gonna mess with him.
Fuck. Are we staging the rescue mission for now, or are we backing out and calling this a win?
No man left behind, I guess.
Does he really help that much?
Quine whispers. Is he really that important?
He was bait to begin with.
I messaged him, just said sorry, we tried. Just to mess with him.
Oh, in Discord, you mean?
Yeah.
Nice.
I will quickly add to the text. We left the other party member as a sign of goodwill, and let's say, let's get out of here.
No, we gotta go get Mallow.
We always joked around when people weren't there to play that they would just be standing there T-posing like they've just like disconnected from an online game, just waiting for you to reconnect. It's just Nalo and the other guy are just sitting there T-posed.
Yeah.
I'm not staying around here with Mr. and Mr. Loud in order to try and rescue Nalo. It's not a good idea. I think we should head back.
We're not
We already know they're willing to cooperate. I don't think this will change much.
Well, we're not really loud. We kind of lack our armor, but we are kind of tired, so you might be right on that.
Fedloy says the other option, if you're feeling very lucky, is to approach him now, freed from your cages, and ask to talk. It's a bit of a power move, but it could pay off, showing that you're willing to put yourselves in danger to trust him.
I do like power moves. Yeah, I do like power moves.
That does sound tempting.
We just broke out of your jail. What? Or he could be very pissed by it and kill you all.
I mean, but nobody was dead. Can I roll an insight to see how I think he would feel from just the little interaction we had?
How who would feel?
Orcard.
Oh, you haven't spoken to Orcard yet.
Oh, that wasn't Orcard? Who was it?
No, that was just one of the captains. You have not seen Orcard. You assumed at some point he would come talk to you. You meant the one who talked in the cages? No, yeah. That guy identified himself as... Where was he? Let's see. Or maybe he didn't identify himself.
He didn't.
Maybe that was Orcard.
So as far as I know, how would that person react to us escaping and doing a power move? Would he just kill us, or would he...
I mean, that's kind of hard to gauge just from meeting a guy once.
I know. It was worth a shot. Alright, well...
So, does anyone know where Orcard would be?
Not a clue.
Fedloy nods. He says, I know where his chambers are.
Although, and how do you know that?
If we could... He says, I've snuck around these caves before you all got here. Though there are guards on the way to his chambers, so if we could sneak in without anyone noticing, that would be fairly impressive. Or we could just approach and maybe say we wish to speak to him. He says,
I am pretty impressive.
He says, I would most likely stay hidden, just in case things go poorly. Maybe I can get you all out later. Plus, I don't trust Orcard enough to deal with him.
So
agreed.
You know him a bit more than we do, it seems. Do you think he would... How do you think he would react?
He whispers, I have watched him. I have not met him. If he is willing to deal with you, and he thinks you have something he could use, then most likely he would deal. But there's no way to guarantee that, obviously, because if you walked up to him in here, you would be at his mercy. There's no way you could escape.
True. So from his perspective, you have killed a bunch of my men, you managed to escape prison, and then you approach me, knowing that I could have you killed at any given time in my area. You're either stupid...
Would have more use to him alive than dead, regardless. I think it's the right move, to be honest.
I mean, I like it.
Especially if we can all sneak into his chambers.
Yeah. Do we sneak though? Because that could look bad. Like looks like we're trying to assassinate him. I say we just brazenly walk out saying and ask to speak to him.
Then
now.
we'll just be stopped by the guards. We sneak past the guards and we walk up to him.
Well, if we sneak in, it shows that we're not looking to hurt him, because we could have if we wanted to.
It looks like the complete opposite. It looks like you're trying to get by and assassinate him.
Well,
Well, if we sneak in and then,
that would depend on whether or not you were caught, Fedloy whispers. If you were caught sneaking in, that would look bad, but if you snuck in and revealed yourself to him, he would most likely realize you could have killed him if you wanted to, or at least attacked him.
Why not? Let's give it a
Agreed.
shot.
Let's sneak past the guards and reveal ourselves to Orkard then.
Does Nalo happen to be on the way or no?
Says no, Nalo is not on the way. Tal, do you say anything with all this, or are you just keeping quiet?
Or is Talon a call again?
I'm just being quiet for now. I'm sorry.
No,
You're
that's fine. He's thinking.
really fast, before we do this, Zaquan is going to hug both of you.
Oh. There. Pats you on the head and pushes you away slowly. I've got more rocks to throw at you later.
Give me a D20. Get out of here, Zaquine. Get out of here.
Well, okay, so I couldn't figure out where that was from originally. It was Lassie, wasn't it?
It's like Lassie, Old Yeller. It's like any of those old like dog movies.
Get out of here, girl,
boy. Get out of here.
I couldn't find it. It frustrated me for like a day.
Or like Dances with Wolves.
This is the first time Tal really gets to see Zach, because Zerk saw her face.
Yeah, I guess you would see that Zach now has no hood on, so you would see she is a tiefling. Give me a D20 roll.
I did.
Oh, you did, okay. So yeah, things are quiet for now.
When we do get in there, Zach, please don't say anything rash or emotional.
What does that mean?
Don't yell at Orkard.
You know what it means. Let's get
No.
going.
I get the feeling she's what roped you in to come in to save us.
I don't know how.
So the druid would motion, we should move. It's
Alrighty.
dangerous to linger. That third one might return. Alright, so Zerx and Tal, you should be able to control yourselves.
It's still dark.
You can't see anything?
No.
Weird, there's a torch out. What? Wait, let me see.
You guys missed all the action? Damn it.
You don't see yourselves here?
I don't. Do you, Tal?
I do.
You do?
Yeah.
Try pulling your token on again. In this area.
I can't even see my token.
So, if you...
You go to like where you select your character sheet and you just click on that and you drag it onto the map.
Yeah, so drag your token on in this area.
Because you've been giving me that token, so I don't have it actually.
It's on the character sheet. If you go to player characters, you should see Zerx in there. You could just click on that and drag it onto the map. And that'll put your token on the map wherever you drag to.
Okay, I've got him on the map, but I still don't see nothing.
I don't see you on the map.
Hold on. Now I see why. That is a big cave.
Where did you put him?
He's on top of the cage now.
Okay, so you can see now?
Now I can, yeah.
Alright, go ahead and, yeah, so you two should be able to control yourselves now.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna throw all those hobgoblins in the cage and lock it.
The unconscious ones?
Yeah.
They're already down hidden at the bottom.
Oh, they're already hidden? Then never mind. I won't bother
Yeah,
with that.
they're hidden over here. So Tal, can you move yourself? Okay.
Perfect.
So you are following them. I'm going to put Fedloy in the background again. So he starts moving in this direction and he says, stay close or you will lose my bonus to hiding.
Yeah, so at that point, I can't see anything anymore.
Yeah, at that point, I can't see anymore.
Tal All
Make-
right.
make-
So you
make it-
mentioned that you don't have dark vision. Fedloy says, well, I thought this might come up. And he is going to cast dark vision on the two of you. So he uses a second level spell, giving you 60 feet of dark vision.
Yay.
He says this should last for the day. Oh wait, how long does dark vision last? Let me double check. You can see now, right?
Yes.
So he would make a little noise doing that. Let me roll something. No, apparently he was not heard, luckily.
8 hours.
Okay. So Zach, are you following them?
Yes.
I like the components for it is like either you can use a carrot or an agate. That seems like a big range.
So as you come around the corner here, you see that hobgoblin from before. It looks like he is coming back towards the jail area.
I will motion everyone to stay quiet and wait for him to get close, and then try and knock him out.
Alright, I need stealth checks at disadvantage because he's walking very close to where you are. So
19.
19. Tal's Equine Zerks. 12. Uh-oh. 18. So he's sort of walking this way, and he would stop and say, "Who's there?" as he looks towards Tal. Give me initiative rolls. He's not surprised as he goes for his weapon.
Yeah.
Told you guys were a liability.
If we weren't exhausted, this would be no. It was so easy because we don't have disadvantage because we don't have our armor on now.
Yeah.
But you'd have disadvantage because of how close he was.
Yeah,
I mean,
which would kind of be
yeah,
a wash.
true.
So Zaquine, you would act first as he goes for his weapon. What are you gonna do?
Sleepy time.
So she rushes out. Now, do you have? Are you an assassin as well?
No.
She has
Right.
swashbuckler, so she gives herself advantage because she's 1-on-1 right now, though.
Well, she doesn't have advantage, but she can
Or-
sneak attack.
Sneak attack. Yep.
Yeah.
That's so confusing. Like
For some reason, I can't see the order of combat right now. How do I pull that back up?
Do you see it now?
Nope.
Well, I can tell you when you come up. That's fine. So Zaquine, 19 would strike, and you do get, sneak attack, because
I'm going to aggressively whisper for him to go to sleep.
he complies as you once again pommel strike right in his face. Oh, sorry, not dead. Sleepy.
No! We gotta splinter cell this. We can't kill anybody.
Sleep. Yeah, stealth mission. All right, so he is. Oh, excuse me. He is down.
Do we all have our cardboard boxes?
Yeah.
Alright, let's hide him just about around the corner. That should keep everyone quiet on you guys' escape, and we can head to Orcard.
All right, give me some stealth checks to hide him. As you drag his body over. Alright, so yeah, you pile some rocks upon him, making him look a lot like the cave wall. You think he's pretty well hidden. Fedloy says you all are very talented at this. Alright, so go ahead. You can continue if you wish. Are you going to keep going into the cave?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess he has to point which way to go, huh? He would say this way. Sneaky, sneaky. Do we lose Scurry and Zerks?
No, man.
Oh, okay. So they're sneaking down this way. He whispers, everyone stay close.
Stay get close.
So as you get over here, you would see up here a figure walking down this way. And actually, some of you recognize him, those in the cage. It is that mysterious hobgoblin from before. Which now the others here would see him as well.
This one might be a little bit tougher than the last one, and seems to be of importance. Don't know who they are exactly, though.
Where is he?
Oh, sorry. Why is he not appearing? Come on, what's going on? He is over here. He's kind of walking this way.
Zaquan's just gonna sort of, that's the hobgoblin, huh?
Yes, he.
No. I got it. It's a hot goblin.
A hot goblin. Hey.
I'll take my
Hey,
disadvantage.
Puts on his sunglasses.
I'll take my disadvantage on my next roll.
So yeah, this kind of wizard-clad or wizard-like figure is walking down this way. Give me those stealth checks.
Same plan.
Disadvantage on this one too?
I'll say no, because he's not walking as close to the group, so just a normal roll.
You rolled a literal 0.
Hey.
16, 14, 23, and 19. Alright, so he is walking past. He doesn't actually seem to notice you all.
As he's walking past, I would like to run up and try and knock him out.
Alright, so give me initiative rolls.
No surprise on that one?
I'll give you surprise because he didn't see you. Sorry, hot goblin.
Sorry. Can you blame us? You do the same, wouldn't you?
Alright, let me get him on there.
Oh, right, I need to roll. Yeah! That doesn't really matter. So, how come it shows Tao doing like a 0.8 and stuff like that? Or 0.08?
That's your dexterity scores for tiebreaker. So
Okay.
if two people rolled a 3 and he got like a 0.8 and someone had a 10 dex, it would be 3.1 and the 0.1
Gotcha.
would go first. Alright, so he is surprised as once again you creep from the shadows attacking him.
And this is where assassin like gets broken if they go first after a surprise round too.
Oh,
So Scurry, you would be first.
I don't think that hits.
Oh, that actually, I think you're right. I think that would miss. So I'll double check that.
Even if he's rushing him, doesn't that
Yeah.
give the +2?
No, that would miss. So you come out with your trying to kind of smash into him, and he kind of he like just puts his arm up and pushes you back. So that's it for you. The Devastator
Can I
goes.
not make a bonus attack action with the dagger?
Oh yeah, that's right. You have a second, so go ahead and make your second attack.
There you go.
22. Yeah, that would strike. So and this is non-lethal.
It's non-lethal and it is a crit because assassinate.
All right, so you do go ahead and double those. So 8 plus another D4 and another 2D6. So 18, 25. Oh, he stumbles back as you probably broke his. Well, maybe not broke his jaw, but you smashed him really hard in the face. He is not unconscious yet, though.
So the easiest way to do no, actually, but yeah, we would all still get a chance to go, and then it would
Yep.
just go back.
So he would go, lose his turn, Zaquine. And I think technically he is no longer surprised after his first
Yes.
thing.
After this, right now he's no longer surprised.
Yes, exactly. So
Is
he's surprised until his initiative comes up, and then he
Yep.
just fails to act. So Zaquine, go ahead. He's no longer surprised, but you do have Swashbuckler. Or wait, Scurry, did you run up to him?
Yeah, I did. Sorry, I
Alright,
need wolves.
so you don't have Swashbuckler, but you do have Sneak Attack from Scurry. So go ahead and make an attack.
Zacoin is going to run up and, wow, I am sorry. I am
Hey.
really sorry.
He's got that natural charisma.
So Quine sees, like, the heart. And she's like, oh. Ah, and smacks him. Oh yeah, 15 would strike. He is not well armored. As you come up from the side and smash him again. So that would be.
Did he look wounded, by the way?
He does not look wounded yet.
Fuck.
I am
Looks
really
like he
sorry.
is grabbing for his spell component pouch. But that would be another 10. That would make him look wounded. As he's bleeding from his mouth now. That's it for Zaquine. Tal, what are you doing? Are you muted, Tal?
Oh, sorry, I was muted.
Okay.
I'm gonna move up.
Tal is just
Yeah.
stoic because he runs
Just going
up
into
and
this
punches
long
him.
lament about his character's backstory and his heartfelt moment. Damn it, I was muted.
Yeah. So
It took 35? Holy damn.
Yeah, I'm gonna move into whisper range and whisper to him like, I'm sorry, we're not gonna kill you, but you should surrender now. And I'm gonna cast command with surrender as the keyword or as the command word.
Go ahead and link command.
1 second. I have this up somewhere. Command here.
Alright, so surrender. Let's see. So this only lasts a round, but
Yes.
he does get a wisdom save, right?
Yes.
Alright, so. Wisdom. Oh, he rolls a 4, so he would indeed be affected by the spell, and he sort of puts his hands up in a surrendering motion. Zerx, bottom of the round.
I will flank and I will attempt to grapple him.
Can we keep him?
Alright, so you grab him from behind. Give me a
just
athletics
do a
check.
Would it be attack roll? Because a grapple is an attack, isn't it?
A grapple is an attack, but it's a special type of attack that uses athletics versus his acrobatics or athletics, his choice.
Okay.
So athletics plus 2, 16. So he's going to use dex, he's going to use strength. He's actually stronger. No, he rolls an 8, and he is grappled. Ugh. Alright, so it's a new round, Scurry. Zerx is grabbing him. He seems to have his hands up in surrender. What are you going to do?
Very sorry, but we're gonna have to knock you out. I hope you understand that.
He
We
says,
don't mean you any harm.
He says, you are the ones who sent the note. Why are you attacking us?
We're on our way to Orchard right now to negotiate terms with him. If you believe that we can let you go and you can introduce us and we can have peaceful negotiations, we will.
He spits out some blood. He says, you almost broke my jaw. You could have just said that in the first place. Yes, I will lead you there if you stop attacking me.
Very well, let him go.
I'm gonna insight check him first.
Go ahead, give me an insight.
Crit.
He seems really angry, but you don't think he is lying.
Alright, yeah.
So you kind of
You know how it is. We gotta take precautions. Sorry
Sorry.
for that.
pulls,
you wanna
his,
Really, really sorry.
pulls his arm around front, and he's like, oh, rubs his jaw.
If it's any consolation, if this is all, goes well, I'll let you hit me in the face once for free.
Tempting. We'll see.
I'd like to not be hit in the face, but you can hit me in the face too if you'd like.
He
I don't.
says,
I think she'd like that. Please don't. Bad.
He-
Rocks.
He gives you a bit of a look and says, well, if this doesn't go well, you're all in very serious trouble. Follow me.
And I would look like a hobgoblin right now. I don't know if that matters.
Oh, do you? So he'd probably be looking at you very confused, like
That's perfect.
just a hobgoblin with a helmet on and just clothing.
I just imagine like in like that the white wife beater undershirt and the polka dot white boxer briefs, like you see in all the movies. The guy runs out with a shotgun.
Yeah. So at this point, Fedloy kind of fades into the shadows here. He does not follow you. As this guy,
So, what's up with you? You look different.
what do you mean?
She's attracted to you. She's flirting.
Give me a persuasion check, both of you.
Both. I'm not trying to help her.
He's trying to wing man.
Hey, I think she's into you, bro.
Y'all are terrible. Y'all are terrible at this.
Tal, are you following?
Tal's like, I stay behind.
I'm out of here.
He's stuck with the druid. He's
So
better odds.
he just sort of looks at Zaquai and then looks back forward. He says, Orcard was looking to speak to you all. If you had just waited, I could have brought you to him together later.
What do you mean together? Were you planning on
He says,
finding us?
He says, in your note you said an owl would come, bringing a message, and that we could message you back. Why did you decide to break into the cave?
That was the plan, but the party member who likes to flirt with you is a little tad emotional, and I could not prevent her from trying to go save her friends.
I am not
I
flirting.
decided to full commit.
He says, flirting with me.
I did warn you. One of them was well put together, and one was quite emotional and rash. I think you can decide which is which.
So as you approach the cave, you see there are two hobgoblins there, who immediately draw their weapons as they see the group leading this guy, and he puts his hand up. He says, "It's all right. I'm taking them to see." He says, "I'm taking them to see Orcard," and they look a little concerned but nod. He says, "My name is." Hang on, what's his name? What's your name?
Surprise! I'm Orcard.
No.
Damn.
I just had his sheet open. He says, "My name is." There he is. Urdul, by the way. I am Orcard's right hand man.
Oh, I see.
So he leads you into the cave, and let me bring up this next area. Roll20 just got really laggy for some reason, at least for me. You should see all darkness, right?
Correct.
I do.
Alright, so you'll be coming in at the bottom of the map here. I have to give some of you dark vision, so give me a moment. So, Tal, Scurry, Zerks, Zaquine, and Tal. Right now you have 60 feet. And Zerks, you have 60 feet. Alright. So he leads you into a chamber as you go kind of deeper into the cave. And you hear talking coming from up ahead. He walks forward and says, Orcard, you have company. I assume you're following him.
Yeah.
You see there are a bunch of hobgoblins in the cave here as you move up. And a hobgoblin sort of at the front who is talking to them. As soon as the troops see you all, they draw weapons, and your ally Urdul kind of puts his hands up and he says, "They have come to speak. They have come to speak terms with you." And Orkard eyes the group. And let me give you a picture of him. So one thing you would first notice is he does have his sword out, which looks like it doesn't look like a normal longsword. It looks like it is a strange design. Does anyone have history?
Nope.
Okay, so the design looks odd.
I think Tal does.
Tal does.
Tal does. Tal, are you there?
He's got a bunch of messages. This is what he
Oh,
said.
Sorry,
Gotcha.
it's kind of busy at work right now. I'm
It's okay.
no
yeah,
worries.
I have history.
Give me a history check.
Some motherfucking samurai.
All I see is a bunch of new loot.
So yeah, you would notice his sword looks kind of like a katana. For obviously your characters would know what that is, but you know what that is. And it is wreathed in lightning as he's talking to these guards. He steps forward and says, "You are the mercenaries who have been killing my people." And
Yes.
Urdul kind of steps to the side and bows as he walks past. And he says, "And now you've broken into my cave and freed your friends." He puts his sword away at this point, but crosses his arms, keeping an eye on all of you. I assume you all have your weapons sheathed, right?
Yeah.
Okay. He says, "Tell me why I shouldn't just kill you here."
Because you've seen what we're able to accomplish. You've seen what skills we have and what we can do.
And we're more used to you alive than dead. And
we-
clearly we're willing to cooperate. We're right here, standing in front of you, your right-hand man, and what is it, a dozen other troops?
Give me an insight check. All of you can make it.
Nope. Oh God, no! We are.
He scratches his chin, he looks back at his troops, then over to Urdul. He says, "You certainly have shown yourself to be talented." He says, "It's been a long time since I've seen mercenaries who can carve through my ranks so easily. Though I don't know if that's a statement of your power or the failing standards of the Iron Tide." And he sort of looks back angrily at his troops who kind of put their heads down. And he looks back at you and says, "You've come because you, from what I've heard, you wish to relieve the plight of the people of Chaur. Is this true?"
Yes, that was our main goal.
Correct.
He says, "Know that my intention for being here had nothing to do with Chaur or its people. As my guard has already told you, I was hired to be here for a job by Blackwater, as well as the woman Sithril from the Blood Hand." He says,
That's why we're talking.
Because that information was not public. That was kept secret, and the people of Char suffered for it.
he nods. He says, "I imagine Blackwater would not have told them the truth."
They did not. And he's also amassing a large force of mercenaries as well.
Has he told you anything about why he seeks the dagger?
No, he likes to keep his secrets to his chest.
He said he was a collector.
He says that he is, but there's more to the dagger than just collection. We had a deal at first. Orkard was looking to collect 3 items of power: a dagger, a ring, and an amulet. He already possesses the ring, but the amulet and the dagger remain obtrusive to him, or remain hidden from him. And you see him kind of put his hand on a curved dagger he has sheathed in his belt.
Assuming you meant Blackwater there, that Blackwater has the ring and is looking for the dagger, because you said Orkard.
Oh, sorry, yeah, Blackwater has the ring. He says, "I don't know where the necklace is, or the amulet, but I am in possession of the dagger. He says, with all three of these items, Blackwater intends to open an ancient vault in the ruins of an undead city north of here. That is one of the reasons he hired myself and the Iron Tide, was because he needed us to fight through the undead to get him to his vault. However, at this point, the items of power remain scattered, and we were looking for ways to get the ring from him, as well as figure out where the third item is. We think it might still be buried somewhere in the ruins here, but we don't know for sure. He says, you've been brought into a conflict much larger than you may have initially thought. The question is, now that you know all of this, what are your plans?
If you can... We have no problems or quarrels with you and your people. If we can bury the hatchet and find the ways that the people of Chaur no longer suffer, I have no quarrel or conflict helping you.
He says, did you really think after you killed all my soldiers I would just deal with you, though, without any type of punishment?
Beating and breaking us isn't going to help us work any harder or faster for you.
With you. Correct him.
So you see him look back at his troops again, then look at Erdul. Give me another insight check.
What about him? What are his plans? Saquon's gonna point at Orville.
Stop flirting with the man. We're trying to discuss the future of our lives here.
Alright, so...
I'm gonna pull out a little spray bottle and start squirting her with it. Don't even ask where I got it. Bad.
So Zerx and Tal, I'm gonna have to actually tell you this in private.
That's
Because
fine.
it would
You
be... I have to figure out if you could... how you would relay what you may have just figured out. So come to the secondary voice really quick.
Alright.
Ooh, secret.
Oh shit.
Alright, so you think as he's looking back and forth at his troops that he might need to save face here. That he realizes he can't just let you off the hook because his troops either might revolt or might he might lose face with them. So you don't think he has a way of making an open friendship just at this moment. Does that make sense?
Yeah, he's got to show power and authority.
Yes. So that's what you two get from this exchange. So we can head back now.
Okay.
So he, as I said, looks kind of back to his troops, looks at Urdul, and he says, "You will be thrown in prison while I figure out what I wish to do with you. Guards, take them." What do you all want to do?
Are we at least gonna get fed this time?
Fine, we'll give you food.
Alrighty. I drop the shield and the sword and be like, let's go and get this over with.
Alright, so you all surrender?
I do at least.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so the guards would come up and kind of forcefully grab you and lead you out of here, heading towards back to the prison cell.
Zaquan will certainly growl.
He says, and don't...
I will also tell them where, like, the knocked out comrades are.
You say, oh, by the way...
There's like 6 or 7
like
guys knocked
7
out.
people hidden in the cave walls. He just kept hiding them there. He growls. And he says, don't let them get the keys this time. And, you guys are dragged away.
Just like randomly going
We
to the
don't have the keys. The druid has the keys.
Yeah. So he would have you brought back to the cell area where you were originally all were. And now you would see that Nalo is here as well.
Oh shit, I forgot about him.
And Tal.
Hey, buddy.
Or Dale, sorry. Your druid,
Dale.
Your archer.
Oh,
I can't see at the moment. Oh, there we go.
our Legolas,
still
whatever he's
dragging
called.
But yeah, for whatever reason, he seemed to put you all in the same cage now. Who am I missing? Zerks? Yeah, Zerks. So can you all see here?
Yes, I can.
Alright, so yeah, he would lock you up, and there are a couple of guards, but they are not standing very close. What does the group want to do?
I'm gonna see if any of them got any welts or knots on their heads. Just from the distance I'm at.
Well, they drag these guys away because they're still unconscious, but some new guys would come to take their place.
I go 1, 2, 3. While impressed.
Yeah, they
Me
drag.
too, you can count. Just fucking with you.
So,
Can I get like a
Dale.
blanket or something?
sorry, what'd you say?
She's asking if she can get a blanket or something.
You ask the guards just ignore you. Nalo and Dale says, "Oh, it's good to see you all are alive. I'm guessing you got captured too."
Nah, we walked up to Orcard and negotiated with him. We should be out of here soon.
Really? Well, if he threw you in jail, I'm assuming it didn't go well.
It went pretty well. We're just waiting for him to make up his mind.
So,
I hope so.
based on that reaction, there does seem, and I'm doing this in hushed tones, there does seem to be the possibility of a revolt. If he does not save face and he does not punish us, depends on what you think you want to do with that.
I think his troops are loyal enough, and the promise of solving this issue sooner than later will be more than enough to compensate.
No, he seemed very adamant about having to save face.
Dale says, "What do you mean? Do you think he's gonna kill us to save face?"
No, but he must punish us to show that he's strong and not a weak leader.
So, or maybe just figure out what to do and keep us in jail for the moment to show that he intends to punish us.
Who knows?
Well, we do have
Whatever I decide, like, whatever it is, I will bear the burden of the punishment. If it must be physical, I do not mind.
Well, I'm not thrilled about the idea of getting my ass kicked, Nalo says. But I guess we'll see what happens. I hope we made the right decision.
There's not much ass there to kick now, though. You're fine. Don't worry.
He just looks at you, gives you a dirty look. So
Nalo would be a smart ass to be like, no, you're right.
trying to play Nalo as best I can.
I know. I'm just messing.
So does anyone want to do anything, or should I pass time?
Past time. I
I
don't.
am avoiding the party as much as possible.
I'm gonna just take a nap.
Oh no! I'm throwing little pebbles at Zach.
All right.
She'll be sitting with her back to the party, as
Yes.
far in the corner as she can get.
This would have been a lot easier if we had just stayed back at camp.
All right. So you're sitting there. Time passes. As you're waiting, you see a figure approaching from the shadows. She walks up to the guards, and she just looks at them, and they nod and step aside. And as she gets closer, you see her enter the light. She is not human or hobgoblin. She is a dark elf. Here, I'll give you a picture. Wish there was a way you could reveal them without showing the name. So she appears to stand at like 5'5" or so. She has pretty impressive looking leather armor as well as blades all about her, and she wears a red cloak. She approaches the cage and says, "It's good to finally meet all of you."
Well, then.
Go ahead.
And who do we have the luxury of meeting?
She says, "My name is Iara Ducat. We've actually met before, though you didn't see me. Do you remember the caravan?"
Yes.
I do.
She says, "I was slipping through the grass nearby, taking stock of it, and one of you noticed me."
Oh, the one that was laying in the bushes. I did remember seeing something slightly red. Must have been your cloak.
She says, "I was not laying, and it was lucky that you saw me at all. But anyway, that's not important." She says, "I came to speak with you on behalf of Orcard. He wanted me to tell you that he does intend an alliance, but he cannot openly form one with you because of the destruction you've wrought on the Iron Tide. He is thinking of a way to make this work without seeming soft."
Understandable. I picked up on that.
We can just escape again.
I mean, we've done it what 4 times now. I mean,
She
It's
sighs.
getting a little old.
She sighs and says, "Yes, it wouldn't surprise me with the skill level of some of these guards. Although, I would be impressed if all of you could escape. You don't seem like the stealthiest group."
They're really not. It's sort of an issue.
not really.
She says,
Anyways, if he needs to save face, then so be it. I will bear most of the burden if possible. As the leader of this group, it is my responsibility.
She says, "Well, he doesn't intend to physically punish you. That would put a damper on any alliance that you and the group would have. He's trying to come up with a way of making this work. He is going to leave you in prison for now, at least for the night, and tomorrow I will come to you with an answer. But do not mention this to any of the guards or anyone outside of your group.
Mention what?
The fact that he
And
doesn't intend to
I-
actually
I-
punish you."
I was winking at that.
Oh, doing a thing. Gotcha. All right.
What was your name again?
She says, "Iara." And yours?
Scurry.
Scurry.
And I'll give her a wink.
She says, "You're the tabaxi that's very hard to see." Yes, I've heard tales of you coming out of the bushes and murdering the hobgoblins. It sounds quite impressive. And she would give you a smile. Or you gave her a wink? Give me a persuasion check.
Scurry's now getting his flirt on.
Everybody's flirting. She just kind of smiles and nods and says, "Well, it would be best if you didn't escape again, as that would just make it harder. So just sit tight, and we'll figure something out, or at least he will." And with that, she would walk away unless anyone else is saying anything.
No.
All right. So we are getting close to 2. This might be a good place to call it, unless anyone wants to do anything before we wrap.
No, I'm good.
Should he used inspiration? It's like, "Hey, how you doing?"
He wants that steamy RP with the DM.
Oh man, there's no steamy RP. We fade to black.
Fade to black.
Fade to black. Fireplace. Ocean waves crashing on the beach.
The shadows.
Yeah. But all right. So if there's nothing else, give me MVP votes. We'll wrap here. I know some of you spent a lot of time in the cages. Hopefully you still had fun listening to what was happening. Some people are like super against splitting the party, but I feel like it can be fun if there's still storytelling going on, as long as everyone is engaged with like
The ranger is Dale, right?
Yeah.
I'm fucking around. All right.
You vote for Dale. Alright, so I got 1 vote. I should probably remind everyone what the command is. Alright, got 2 votes. Hopefully we get our bard back next week.
Well, no, Nalo's dead for all he knows. He needs to re-roll a new character.
We tried our best, yeah. All right, 3 votes. I think I just need Zequine, or did you send it via Discord?
Yup.
Discord.
Why do you always do that?
Just to mess with you.
Just to mess with me. All right, so that would mean Zerks with 2 votes, your MVP. Congrats.
Thank you.
Yeah, so like I said, hopefully everyone had fun, and next week we'll pick it up with what happens next with Orchard and the group.
The hobgoblin was just a passing fancy. She's already got her eyes on somebody.
It's the rat. It's the rat.
It's the rat.
Is it Iara Ducat, the drow?
She's like, ooh, even
Hey.
better hottie.
You and Scurry. Like,
Yeah,
hey,
no.
hey.
No, she's grooming her. She's grooming what she likes right now. She's got what she wants. Poor Carter. Poor Carter.
Or did you say poor Carter?
He's being groomed.
Oh, yeah, fair enough. All right, well, I'm gonna take some notes, but yeah, if you all want, you can take off. And
Who was supposed to scribe this week?
that was Zerks.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
Fun
Zequine next
session.
week. Yeah, hopefully everyone had fun. It was a little bit nerve-wracking for me because I wasn't sure who was having fun since you were all separated, but hopefully you all had fun.
Yeah, I'm just sorry. Like,
No,
there's a
it's okay.
presentation tomorrow and stuff isn't working.
You'll get
Tom,
Alright.
this was the best session to have to work in for you.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
you were stuck in a cage, so it's, yeah, it's...
It
yeah.
worked out for the best.
I'm just sad that we lost Dale. I didn't think, I wonder if he got upset that the group got captured or something, because that was really weird.
I mean, I'd rather lose him if he's gonna be upset about something like that, or we're better off
Yeah.
without
Well,
him.
I don't know, because, yeah, that's the weird thing. He didn't say anything. Like, I
And
would
then
have...
nothing even about a refund either.
Yeah, he didn't...
That's the weirdest.
I would, because I would have given him a refund if he asked me. I would, if he was like, "I fucking hate it," I'd be like, "All right, sorry," but yeah, he just left. So
Weird.
I guess you have a free slot open for 2 weeks for free. If you see, you want a trial run? Anybody?
yeah, maybe I'll see if I can just get.
Or-
It's a hard slot. The morning slots are always really hard to fill.
How comfortable are you with having a NPC though? Like, do you ever tried that and had it successfully work, or do you feel it's too much? Like, I've seen it's always one of those taboo things that people don't really.
I have way too much work to do that. So
Okay.
most likely,
No, that's understandable.
whenever someone leaves, I'll usually keep the character in until there's a reason why they would just naturally leave the story. Like I'd probably have him stay around to help with some of the nature stuff, but at some point he'll probably just wander off.
Okay.
He wasn't actually in our group.
Dale?
He just walked up.
Yeah, he kind of just came along with us. 'cause
Yeah,
we were so-
he-
So I mean,
He had his own agenda in the area, so that would make sense that, after
My
the...
fiance would like to do the 2 trial sessions if that's okay.
Yeah, sure. If she wants to step in, she can play for the
well, she's like, I'll play. I'm like,
her sessions funded by Dale. Actually, I should see if he I gotta check PayPal actually, because he may have secretly requested a refund or something.
oh, that'd be so fucking dirty too, or a charge.
No, otherwise I'll pay for it. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'll check on that, but if he did just pay and leave, then yes, it's fine. She could just join.
She is a little newer, like she's a little rusty on D&D, so might be a couple of questions for a long time, but
Cutthroat. No one's
I-
allowed to ask questions. No, it's fine.
I'm sure you'll give her all the information you need.
yeah, we've been playing here and there again, and she's getting better, but it's a bit.
No, it's perfectly fine. I have no problem. I have tons of new players come in, so some people have no experience. Those are tougher, but if you have some experience, that helps. 'Cause, yeah, then they have no idea what they're supposed to roll for anything. But even so, like I said, I could just work with it.
But no, it was a good session. Even though me and Tao, it worked in the better, but I did enjoy it regardless.
All right, good.
It gave the other people a chance to RP more, and it gave them a chance to have the spotlight, which was good.
All right, yeah. It usually people are okay with it, but there is that prevailing never split the party thing, which some people get really offended if you're not involving them in everything. But
Never understood it. Like it just makes sense to split the party in a lot of situations.
In
Oh,
this
yeah.
situation, it worked great for the narrative. Like you get a lot of people forget that it's a story that you're telling with RNG
Yeah.
and variables in it. This
And-
was perfect.
Yeah, and coming from like old school D&D, you split the party all the time. Like for whatever reason, like people would have to split up and do things. So I have no problem with it. Just a lot of newer players don't like it. So, but it's good you guys seem okay with it. So we're good. All right, 5th of autumn, 5 p.m. is when we stopped, and yeah, I'll take some notes on what happened.
And I will get that to you probably this weekend at some point.
All right. Well,
sounds-
have a nice day, everyone.
Good luck. No,
Yep.
you got this, Tal.
See you next week.
Probably not, but whatever.
No, you got it. Damn it! You gotta believe.
You
Just
got it.
roll a performance check right
Spend-
now. I'll use the help action.
I'll use the inspiration points.
Yeah, spend the inspiration point. Draw upon your past successes, and
That's a 16. You're gonna
there
nail
you
it.
go. You're fine.
But then you realize it's coding. There's no such thing as fine. Once you fix one bug, there's 3 more.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly.
Do you do
That's
coding,
it.
Tal? That's right.
Yeah.
Fix that 3 bugs. Now you got 27.
Are you in the game industry? Because being a coder in the game industry sucks.
No, I'm more like apps and websites.
I assume they don't make you do like 80-hour weeks like the month before launch like the game industry does.
No, but it's right now. It's like a constant, let's say, 60-hour week.
Yeah,
Which is-
yeah.
I would prefer 180-hour week, honestly. But
No, they,
Yeah.
they like when I was working for Microsoft, like yeah, the like 3 or 4 months before release, you're there like 60 to 80 hours every week. It's ridiculous.
yeah,
I don't know if it's gotten any better, but yeah.
Probably not. The industries, all those industries have probably gotten worse, especially with COVID now. Like now we can work on skeleton crews.
Yeah.
yeah. We have like this client with the pseudo. What's it called? I don't know. The thing with sprints. What's it called? The system of development, agile development.
Agile, yeah, agile.
Yeah, and the client doesn't really understand it, and like basically it's the waterfall model just
Yeah.
with different labels, but we have a presentation every month where so basically every month is the last month before presentation or before release.
Yeah, no, that's I mean, agile isn't necessarily bad, but yeah, if
It's good, but they just don't do it right. It's
oh yeah, so if you don't do it right, then yeah, I can imagine it'd
Yeah.
be really bad.
yeah, it's the worst. But yeah.
All right, well, I'm gonna get going because I gotta use the restroom, but I will see you all next time.
Yeah, bye.
Have a good weekend. And you got it, Tal. You got it.
You got it. I hope everyone on the stream enjoyed it. I will see you all next time as well. Take care.